Hey everybody, welcome to Sunday night. Just checking YouTube to see if they were actually on. Yeah, looks like we're on. Perfect. Good. Good, good, good. Hi everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Bob, and this is, well, you know what this is. You saw the description. It's the finale hype chat or Q&A. I don't know, whatever this is. I'm not really sure. I didn't do this for my other campaign finales because in the other ones, I did a live prep session. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. I did a live prep session. But we'll talk in a second. I want to talk about why I'm not doing a prep session right now and things like that. But it's already prepped. I should say that we're prepped and ready to go. Let's see, chat. How's it going, everybody? Oh, look at this. Some choices of the music recap. Yeah, Metallica. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I see Chris from Long Island. I guess Bob is a fan of Metallica. Yes, actually, very much so. That was my first concert that I went to see when I was in high school. I was a sophomore. My uncle, who was kind of a big influence on me, took me to see Metallica, and it was awesome. I mean, think about it, as a 10th grader, I mean, going to see Metallica as your first concert, yeah, it was awesome. Giant Stadium here in the New York metro area, Giant Stadium in New Jersey. It was epic. So yeah, big Metallica fan. Actually, just rock, heavy metal, classic rock. That all is my genre. Um, yeah, DM playing Master of Puppets on. Oh, Wayne. Yeah, true. Master of Puppets on a recap video. The DM playing that. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I am the master of the puppets. But actually, that kind of has a little bit to do with the campaign. I think there's a lot of puppeteers in this game. And Brad, imagining Bob in high school with my long black hair, cut off band t shirt. Yeah. Just like Eddie from Stranger Things. Yeah. Good to see you all tonight, everyone. Good to see you. Lightmane, hello. Good to see you. See who else is in the chat here. We got Chris from Long Island, David Hayes. Nice to see you. Um, just water, everybody. Sunday night, just water. Just water. James from KC. Good to see you. Yeah, this has been an epic ride, really, hasn't it? Really, just one of the best campaigns I've ever been a part of. Um, I talked about it. It's hard not to compare the campaign. I think somebody in either Discord or on a YouTube community post said something like, you know, was this my favorite campaign? It's so hard to judge campaigns because they're so unique and different, and they have different people as a part of them, and or at least all of mine really have. I mean, I've played with so many different people over the 23 years that I've been playing D&D. But this group is special too. I mean, Icewind Dale is the one I compared it to in the live chat on what was it? I guess it was this week, Wednesday, or last week, 2 weeks ago. But I said, the Icewind Dale group was a special one because that was the first campaign on the channel, start to finish. And it lasted over a year. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it lasted like 14 months or 15 months. We finished it on the solstice, the winter solstice that year, 2021. Yeah. And it was special because it was the first one on the channel, start to finish. But this one has a different feel too. Like, it's hard to compare the two because this one really felt more of like my own creation. And I think anyone that's been watching the channel long enough knows that I like to adapt modules. That's one of my kind of like my favorite things to do. It's in a little way, it's like getting the best of both worlds, right? Because I can add my own spin and flavor into a module, but it's already got sort of a framework and a starting point. And I get to like see a story unfold, like one that I'm interested in, kind of like reading a book almost, but it's playing live. So yeah, I like doing that. And with this game, this is more me than module, I think, because if you've played Keep on the Borderlands, there is really no story. It's kind of just a mishmash of different things, and even the caves, they are kind of mishmash. I'm going to play some music here. River of Blood from Tabletop Audio. I used this in last episode. You could hear it. I'll turn it up a little louder than normal. Let me know if you can hear it. It's like bubbling blood right now, but there it is. I'll lower the volume in just a sec, but I want you to get a sense of it. Let me know if it's coming through, if you can hear it. And Greyhawk Exile, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Yeah, this music right here. This was... I found this one, and like a week ago. It's new on Tabletop Audio, which you should definitely go and check out. Tabletop Audio is always in the link of all my games. This is like... I love this music. It's like tense, foreboding. I like that drum in the back, that like... Yeah. This is the one I like. I found this recently and I used it in the last stream. Let me lower the volume now. There we go. It's probably better. Yeah, I really like that one, and I played it because it kind of worked out perfectly. The idea of this, this shrine of evil chaos they're about to enter. All right. Yeah. Master of Puppets is pulling our strings, building anticipation and tension by making us wait. Wayne, you're not wrong. There's been a lot of like tension building and stuff like that, and I do want to talk. I'm gonna just say right now, I'm not gonna give away any spoilers for the finale. I just feel like it's not really right for me to do that because of how much of my own creation it was. I don't want to like not share my unique perspective on things because I feel like this is, it's valuable, a valuable resource for people to see how like a dungeon master can go from start to finish and their mindset. And we've had a couple recaps where we've talked as a group before in this campaign, and those are, I think, people really like them. But the reason why I'm not doing a DM prep session tonight, and I'm doing this, is because with Icewind Dale, with Descent to Avernus, trying to think if there are some other ones. What was the other? Oh, Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Those ones are pre-made campaigns, and they're modules by Wizards of the Coast, and they have their own sort of following, and people are constantly sharing information. I didn't have that with this campaign, right? Like, it's one of the things that like I couldn't bounce ideas off of someone in a DM's chat or DM's Facebook group. So because of that, most of this stuff has just been like my own creation, and I don't want to spoil it, right? Like, I think it might be hard for somebody to not want to take a peek, and then they don't get that surprise or a shock at the actual finale. With Icewind Dale, there was, you could have the book, you could read it. Maybe some other of you have watched my channel because you were following along and you were playing a similar storyline with your group. So, that might be a reason you'd watch it. But with this, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to finish the game, have everything done, and then I'll talk about my mindset and my thoughts going into it. So let's just get that out of the way. No spoilers. That's why I'm not doing a DM prep session. But let's take a look. If we have some questions, I'll definitely answer some questions that I can, and then talk about some of my hopes for the end of the game, and then also talk about the future a little bit here. Let's see here. Oh, wow, big chat's pretty good tonight. I gotta go back and find some of these comments here. Let's see. Okay, these I can answer. Chris from Long Island, such a great supporter of the channel. Thank you for all of your comments throughout these campaigns. Two questions you have here. Do we have a start date for Tomb of Horrors, which I know I announced at the what is it called? The State of the Channel update at the beginning of the year. So June, certainly June. When in June? Well, that we haven't pinned down yet. But I am in talks with CJ, Estelle, Nate, and Chris, because we want to get that on the calendar soon. But they know it's coming, and they've reserved the days. We're going to be doing it on Tuesdays, and I'm very excited to get that started going soon. Going soon. So, I'm just looking at my calendar right now. Let's see here. Well, we have a few things already penned in, right? Like we've got Keep on the Borderlands the 9th, which is the finale, and then the 17th, which is the Wednesday, our normal Wednesday. We're going to be doing our after the final roll, where we all chat about what happened in the campaign, kind of debrief, and go over some things. That'll be 8:30 on the 17th, which means that the 24th to 31st we won't have a game, but I could see the 7th or the 14th being the start of Tomb. I could see that being the date. I do have one other thing that I'm going to be announcing soon. I'm not going to announce it tonight just because I'm still figuring out a couple of the details, but we're going to be doing another RPG from most likely next week and or the following week, the 23rd week, 22nd week, I guess. But something coming up in those next few weeks. So maybe have that in between the two campaigns. It's another RPG. It's a completely different RPG than any of the other new ones we've run on the channel. So it's not Call of Cthulhu, it's not Shadow Dark, and it's not The End of the World. It's a completely different one I've been meaning to play for quite some time, and I haven't had a chance, but we're doing it. So that's going to be probably in between Keep and Tomb of Horrors. All right, so now that I've answered that, let's see what the second part. Come to the fall, what classic D&D 4 to 7 D&D module will the Char Coalition face? well, Chris. I know Chris has been pushing the petition for Castle Amber. And no comment. No, I'm just kidding. I've actually said this before. It's not out of the realm of possibility that I could run Castle Amber. I could. I actually ran it before. I've ran it was it a year ago or so? It wasn't on the channel. It was just, regular D&D, real life with people. But it's a great adventure. It's kind of wild and wacky, and I'm not saying it can't ever go on the channel or anything like that, but I don't have a plan for it right now. I don't have a plan for it right now. It's also a big commitment type of game, so I feel like, even at every week pace with our scheduling, 2.5 hours, and really, realistically, the way I've kind of set this whole thing up is that we start at 8:30, which, ends up being like 8:40, and then we do our little introduction, our chat, which I love because I think it gives people a chance to really get to know the players more. And by the time we actually start, really have like maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes of gameplay. And so with that rate, we would take quite some time to do Castle Amber. So I don't have that planned right now, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'll never say never to anything, really. But I don't have plans for that right now. I do actually have something slated for the fall. I think I mentioned this in the state of the channel. I've been planning a lot. I have a lot of ideas for the next couple of campaigns, for the next couple of shorter things, the way I kind of want to take the direction of the channel, and it's all happening. Don't worry. There's a plan in place. I'm not just like looking around and being like, hey, you want to play this game? Or, hey, that's what it might sound like to the players, but I have kind of like I don't know, just like a schedule, an outline. I have it actually right here. I'm not going to show you, but I have a lot of ideas. It's like a whiteboard of like different things and ideas that I'm working on. There's a lot of thought put into it, and a lot of the other things. I love this group, and I want to get them together again. But there's also some other things that come in, logistical things, time, schedules. It's not an easy process to get everybody here. It's a huge commitment on the players' part, and I tell them all the time. I thank them because they're like, I have awesome players. I really do. I think my players are really good role players. They're great at. They've adapted so quickly to like learning how to like play on Zoom and play over this weird way of playing D&D. The way I think is weird, but they're great. All of them. Every campaign I've done, every game, I really respect all of my players and their commitment to the channel. It's amazing. Let's keep going. Let's see. That was a long-winded answer of saying I don't have anything yet, but soon. I want something to happen soon. Let's see. Whatever became of Xander's orphans? Wait, did I? Am I missing something? Xander's orphans? I don't think I know it. What are Xander's orphans? Let's see. What else here? Odd. It didn't seem to start on my screen, assuming James was responding to you. You might be, you just hit the live. It's sometimes when the ads come up at the beginning of the stream, you might have to hit the live button so you can get to the start. Or where I'm at right now, not the start. Let's see here. Is there any more questions? I feel like I'm so behind in the chat. Let's see. Greyhawk Exile, you enjoy the chaos flavor on this old school module. A bit of a Lovecraft feel to it. I think I've... Thank you for noticing that. I actually hope it was pretty obvious. I love Lovecraft, and when I when I was starting Call of Cthulhu on the channel, I was like, this is so cool. This is like my new favorite RPG. I love it. There's going to 100% be more Call of Cthulhu on the channel soon. I just, like I said, got a big plan coming here, big outline, but there's going to be more Call of Cthulhu. Let's see here. Wayne wanted to see a video of what you did to enhance the adventure, what you added, change, etc. Absolutely. I actually am going to do that. I'm going to be doing the Keep on the Borderlands DM guide, and I know I've been like really dragging my feet with the Avernus DM guide. I love that campaign, and I loved making those videos, but the video editing takes forever, and it's just, I mean, with my schedule, with the other commitments, it's just so hard to get those done. But the Keep on the Borderlands one, because it's the module itself is so small, I do feel like if I my own plan, I thought it would be like 7 videos. That's what I was going for. One for like a general overview of the campaign, kind of touching on the history, touching on what's to come in this adventure, story, so to speak. And then another one would go through like the actual module, where you go like one on the keep and all the locations in there, one on the wilderness area, one on the obviously multiple videos on the Caves of Chaos, maybe 2 videos splitting up the caves, the first level or earlier level ones and the harder ones, and then kind of a video or 2 talking about like my personal tweaks to it, and then like an overview finale thing. So that's what I think. That will be a much easier video series to make because it will be less editing. It won't be as many videos. So that will come. And then also we're going to talk so much more about this campaign and everything that happened in it in our After the Final Roll, which everybody should definitely check out. It's on the 17th of May. All right, let's keep going here. James from KC, what was the most unexpected for me character choices during the campaign? Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, wow. For me, well, one of the things that I thought was kind of wild, and this might be just because 5e kind of promotes this, but they really camped out in the caves and like stayed there for a long time, especially that second half. I expected them to like leave and kind of go to level up and get XP and stuff like that, but there were so many moments where it was like, we were going to head back to the keep, and then we'd come back to play the next week and be like, actually, we're going to check out this cave. And then, okay, and again, I do not want to push a choice on the players, right? I don't want to say, no, you have to go here, you have to do this. But they spent a long time in the keep, and it's probably for the better, because they needed the XP and everything, and they all leveled up to level 5 by now, so that's probably for the better. But I thought that they would have went back to the keep, tried to infiltrate it, tried to do some things that would have been more driving the story, but, you know, I'm happy with the choices they made. Those caves were a lot of fun. I would have actually been upset if they didn't actually go through most of them, which, you know, obviously when you're playing an old school module, you know, they lay out all the areas, but, you know, there's no like, what happens if they don't do a cave? Well, they just don't do it. So they could have chose that way, but I'm glad that I'm honestly glad with every decision they made, even if I didn't anticipate it. Let's see here. Brad, what happened to Show Rembo? Did I miss something, or will he make an appearance again? Yeah, Show Rembo, and I think I'm seeing it now. The chat is kind of confirming here. Show Rembo is still a mystery. Nobody really knows what happened to him. There was, and I don't want to. There's you could have seen this, but so much is it's such a weird thing when you're the D&D campaign. It's not like a movie, right? Where you can like a movie's 2 hours and you can go back and maybe you've seen the movie 10 times because you love it. In a RPG live stream, I feel like you really watch it once. Maybe you go back and watch it again because you wanted to see how something was done. I mean, I've watched our live streams and I do go back sometimes. I miss something or I rewatch something because it was a very entertaining moment. But I feel like my memory might you might miss something, right? I mow the lawn when I listen to RPG podcasts. I do a lot of stuff like that, and so I feel like I might not catch every single detail always. There was though, I'm 100% certain of it, that Xander says something along the lines of like, the halfling was, when we took him out, he was begging or something like that. So he says something along the lines of like, you know, he took care of him in some way. Now, what that means exactly is he dead? Is he somewhere else? We don't know. That we don't know. So we're keeping him a mystery for now. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Super sweaty nerd man, 4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is just so much fun. Like I do this channel because it's just fun to share the campaigns with everybody. I shout out to all the people on Patreon and stuff like that. I mean, it just helps keep this easy. Like if I have to buy a module or if I have to buy a resource online or whatever cost I need to do, it makes it so that I don't have to dig out of my pocket and do it. It just keeps it, like I said, keeps it easy to do, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get some more questions in. Yeah, Show Rembo. We'll see. We'll see what happens to Show Rembo. White Plume Mountain, that's a good one. Yeah, you're right. White Plume Mountain's a good one. I have been meaning to play it, and I haven't. Hamlet. It's funny. That's the one that I really never considered playing. But Bone Hill, yeah, Against the Giants. Actually, I've talked to Wayne about that one. Against the Giants, all those giant modules, they're on my bucket list. I mean, they are. It's just I wish I had more time, everybody. If I had more time, then I'd do it all. Yeah. The one real, I think I've chatted about this. There's no surprise here. I mean, I'm a teacher. I do a lot of stuff. I coach. I tutor. I have my family commitments and things like that. My children. It's a lot. It's a lot in a week, and I already feel like I do as much as I possibly can with the 2 streams a week or so. I do the Patreon game. I run a gaming club in for Warhammer stuff and other board games and stuff like that. That all takes time. We host big tournaments. We had our big Northeast Team Championship for Warhammer 2 weekends ago, and so I feel like my schedule is packed, and so I want to do all of these, but most of the reasons why I can't do any campaign is if it's a commitment, and it's got to be really well planned out. Yeah. Let's see here. Is Fritz doing okay? Yeah, Fritz is doing okay. Yeah. He's he's a friend of mine in real life, and he's got his own stuff going on. His work schedule is what prevented him from playing, so Fritz is fine. He's doing good. Yeah, I'd love to get Fritz back on the channel for sure if he's available. But I mean, he's got a lot going on in his life. He's got his own channel, and he's got the he does a lot of his martial arts stuff like that. So he's busy guy. Let's see here. Brad, maybe consider live streaming GM guide videos. That's not a bad idea because it's less editing, recording. My only issue with the live streaming is I feel like it doesn't actually get picked up as much by YouTube. Not that YouTube doesn't promote their live streams or anything like that. I mean, you all get notifications when it goes on, but I feel like live streams aren't what people go to see for advice. They want a a video that's like, 12 minutes long, that has like an intro, gets you hooked, and then you watch it, and it's got all the parts, and it's edited so it's speedy and you can go back and find the places. Um, it would be 100% easier on me to do, but I just want to make sure that the videos get picked up and people see them. Those Avernus guides obviously do so much better because that's the type of medium is YouTube pushes. Um, but again, I'm doing this because I love sharing my games. But I'll definitely do more of them in the future. Ryan Manley popping in to say, I found you because of Shadow Dark Monolith, and I'm now watching the second episode of Keeping the Borderlands. I hope there's more Shadow Dark in your future. Ryan, thank you. Wow, I'm so glad. I always wonder who, like, what video got you to come here, because I have, I think, a wide variety of type of RPG content, and so I'm wondering, like, do you watch live plays? Is it the videos, the recorded videos that you see? Is it interviews, or what grabbed you? So good to know that the Shadow Dark following is strong. And yeah, there will be more Shadow Dark in the future. Actually, there will be. I've got that in the plan. There's more Shadow Dark coming. More Shadow Dark coming. Oh, Greyhawk Exile, awesome. Thank you for the $5. Keep it rolling again. Yeah, definitely. And thank you. Appreciate all the support as well. You've been a long time follower here. Let me know, everybody. How long have you been watching the channel? Like we're coming up. What are we coming up on? It's, so I think I posted my first video August of 2020. That was my first video, yeah. And that was a live play of one of the Descent into Avernus ones. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was Descent into Avernus, and it was August. Honestly, those Avernus videos, those first live plays, they were so bad. They just, quality-wise, I didn't figure it all out. I had such small windows for all the players' faces. I've learned over the years, like, what looks better, what's more appealing to watch, and the style of a video to watch, and the length of the video, how to make the audio and video better. I have learned a lot over the last few years, and I don't really consider my channel really starting until Icewind Dale. That Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign kicked off in October that year, and that was like really when I considered it to be, because I didn't even try to promote those Avernus videos. I just put them up there to see if, like, uploading videos worked. I think we recorded a few, we live streamed a few. But yeah, let me know when you came here. I want to know how you all got to the channel. Let's see here. White Plume Mountain is smaller than Castle Amber. Yeah, I think it is. 7 modules long through the Giants. Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Ah, Super Sweaty Nerdman, thank you. The Avernus guides were a godsend. I'm glad they helped. I apologize for dragging my feet with them. Like I said, it's not a lack of passion or well, I guess it is a little bit of lack of effort, but with all the stuff I'm doing, it's just that always had to get, relegated to the back burner. But I'm gonna finish that, and I'm going to put out the Avernus guides. Rime of the Frostmaiden, Brad, thank you. That was, like I said, that's the OG there. James from KC, Skyhorn Lighthouse, that was cool. That was a collaboration with Esper and Hype Goblin and Jordan from Flute Salute and Fritz. That was a fun one. Now back to the hype, the Keep on the Borderlands hype. No spoilers. What is the range of best to worst case scenarios for the finale? Okay. So good point. Yeah, let's keep this on task here. Well, I can say without a doubt, the best case scenario would be that the players, whatever evil they face, right? Whatever evil they face in this Shrine of Evil Chaos is challenging. They defeat whatever the evil might be. They solve the quote-unquote problem of a story, that sort of thing. We get an ending where they succeed, and maybe they have a sacrifice of some sort through it. I'm not saying a player character is going to die or anything like that, but that has to happen for a campaign to be good. But maybe there would be some sort of thing that happens that would cost them to gain victory. In my opinion, that's something like a story. It's a good ending to a story or something like that. It's such a vague answer, I know. I don't want to give spoilers away, but I think, where they had to do something. Like, think about any great story that's gone on for a long time, TV shows. It's when the ending, may not always be the most happy. But I think that them a TPK would be bad. It would suck. If you know how I run the games, I don't pull punches. I really don't. I put all the roles on the chat there so that people can see that I'm not, you know, uh, fudging dice rolls. I don't believe in that. But at the same time, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for the players. I really am. They're heroes, and I've been seeing them kind of grow and develop as their characters, for 2 years now. I don't want them to all lose. I want them to be the winners, the good guys. Um, I guess, yeah, that would be worst case scenarios. TPK. I mean, I'm prepared for it. I have a little, like, epilogue in case that were to happen. I have an epilogue for, obviously the positive side. Um, yeah, I'm rooting for them. Oh, Jeff's in the chat. Hey, how's it going, Jeff? Look at that. How are the players holding up, Greyhawk Exile? Well, as best as you can. They're excited. Some are really, some are really nervous. Some are excited for it. A little both. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, no, it wasn't a very outstanding plan here to do this, or outstanding like long-term plan. This morning I posted the hype video, the campaign recap, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna premiere it tonight at 9. Once we get that out of the way, I'll come on and chat. If you haven't seen the hype video, you should definitely check it out. It's the campaign recap. It just premiered at 9. It was, it's 10 minutes long. It's a little music video. It's got a little clips, in it. It's fun. It was fun to make, and I love those. And if you can actually just really do, just check it out, give it a like, because those videos, I don't do them. They're like I say this. I don't do this channel for money. And I don't do a lot of this because of whatever. It's a lot of work to do it all. I just love doing it. But those videos, they take even more work than like a regular edited video, because I'm combing through what is it? 100 something hours of video. I'm not going through every hour. I'm skipping and I'm trying to find spots, but I'm going back, trying to find the spots, clipping those points, and put them into like that montage video. And that takes a considerable amount of effort. I've gotten better at it over the years, but it takes a considerable amount of effort. But it's fun for me to do. I think the people that watch the campaign, that really like the campaign, that are invested in it, they like it. And so it doesn't do as well in terms of views compared to my other videos, but I enjoy it. So please just give it a little like, bump that on the algorithm so it gets seen by more people. The only people who are watching it are people who are up to date on the campaign. So it's smaller section of my viewers are watching it. Yes, this is spoiler free. Spoiler free. I am not going to talk about anything at all. So that's going to be a spoiler. Yeah. Oh, Chris from Long Island found it by YouTube, on accident. By YouTube. I watched first dozen Keep streams, then caught up. Good. Welcome. Welcome. Have you seen any of the other streams? That's what I want to know. Have you seen? So you came on for Keep, and then have you tested the waters with others? Wayne, over the years, how many years has Tabletop been going? It's been going for... So I said the August 2020 was my first video, but then I think, like I said, I really didn't kick into gear until October, because that was the first real campaign. I only had, 6 or 7 videos in total when Icewind Dale started, and I was gearing up for that. I was like, I'm going to start the channel with Icewind Dale, but I'm going to test the waters, see how the technology works and everything with the last few Avernus streams. And I did that, and then I went in with Icewind Dale, and that was the first one that I really had any idea of what I was doing on the computer. But yeah, so we're going on 3 years. The third year anniversary would probably be, this fall. So 2.5 years, 2 2/3, something like that. And yeah, Jeff, I know you don't watch the games during the to stream during the games because you don't want to, yeah, read something and get some extra. But at this point, there is no extra meta knowledge, or at least no spoiler knowledge. Um, I did mention that this keep game, while it is definitely keep on the Borderlands, I don't think we've stayed true to the book. It's beyond the book. We're beyond the book at this point. Um, you know, which I like because I think most of the games people play and they adapt and they modify it, and that's a kind of the sign of any true game because you kind of have to modify and adapt to your group. So we've done that. Let's see. You watch Wild Beyond the Witchlight that CJ did. I don't think CJ did that one. You might have seen Spelljammer maybe. CJ did Spelljammer more recently, and last year he did Tomb of, no, not Tomb. What's it called? Hidden Shrine of Tomoa-chan. CJ's DM twice on the channel. Love CJ. He's been awesome. Um, yeah, yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the keep. So what we're at right now, if you have the game, right? If you have the game, keep on the Borderlands, the old school one or the Goodman Games one, you'll know that at this point the Shrine of Evil Chaos is one of the caves. Obviously, things are going to be different with this part of the module because it's been a big part of the story plot. Um, but the characters are headed into that area. So I think if you know how the adventure goes by the book, I would say just generally speaking, try to just stick with what's going on here in the now. There's going to be some changes. Obviously, we're even using my friend Mike, who was in Wild Beyond the Witchlight. His campaign setting that he and I think Randall has had a big part in helping him too. We both of them moved on the channel. But yeah, the this world that we're in, Illustria, that's basically the world that we've been playing in. That's where the Pantheon comes from. And I know that it's not like a published adventure, published module that everybody can see, but I think you've gotten a feel for what this world is through mine, and it's my version, my variation, my take on it. But the god list, all those things that we've been discussing throughout the game, those are all things from Mike's campaign setting, and I think we've made it our own. We've done a good job with it, so it's adapted, right? Everything about this game has been adapted. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Chris from Long Island, for the $5 donation. Appreciate it. Again, another really thank you for the support. It means a lot to me. To be able to, like I said, have some money for the things we need to keep the channel going. It's not make it a burden. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's see here. Tomoa-chan was good. Rank Amateurs was fun as well, but you get better character investment and growth in a campaign like this. Yes, Greyhawk Exile, excellent observation. I mean, I love one-shots. Don't get me wrong. You've seen plenty of them on my channel, right? I feel like I've done tons of one-shots, which we either have done as one-shots or split up over 2 or 3 sessions. They give a little flavor. It's fun to try out new things, and it's best for, like, I think trying out a new type of RPG, which we've been doing lately. But you're 100% right. These campaigns, the long-form campaigns, going 50 episodes, going for a year or two span, you really do get to see the characters grow, develop, and the just really even like the growth of the players, right? Like they're figuring things out with themselves in this group, right? They're learning to play with, in this case, many new players. Before we started this game, I mean, Tim, John, and Nate all played in a game with me, Descent into Avernus, but that was John and Nate's first game ever. So Keep was really like their second campaign ever. They were doing one with Nate as well as when that kind of started, but it's one of their first few campaigns that they've ever played in. Tim played it in D&D games before I even knew him, but yeah, so like they all played with each other one game. Then Chris never played with any of the people. In fact, he met everyone pretty much for the first time playing this game. And then Jeff, while you might have known Chris, I don't think you've ever met him. You could correct me in the chat. And so you're playing with Chris and all the other guys for the first time, completely brand new, in person. So it's a completely different way of playing the game. Most of you, I think, if you've ever played D&D, you played with your friends that you've known, whether it was like your friends in high school or college or whatnot. Wherever you got into it, that's your group. And you play with that group. Maybe you added a couple people over the years, but generally speaking, it's people you know in real life that you've met. And while I knew all the people playing, some people didn't, and that was an interesting part of this too. That's true, Jeff. You still haven't met any of them in real life. Yeah, well, obviously we all live in different places. I mean, we're within, you know, we live near each other, but we don't live, we're not neighbors. We don't go to the same school. That's not how we met. That sort of thing. Um, but that will change soon, Jeff. We're gonna have another barbecue. We'll do another tabletop uh, Bob BQ this summer. Get together, celebrate the channel, get all the players from different games together so they can meet. Let's see here. Yeah, you should check out Keep on the Borderlands once the campaign's done. Yeah, absolutely. It's actually, it would be probably an interesting just like kind of comparison to see what's different. Would I agree that Nate's character is the leader of the charcoal group? Chris from Long Island. I think so at this point, and it's not like if you're not the leader, you're not like I wouldn't consider Nate to be the main character, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like D&D is not it's not like one person's the main character, and then everybody else following. I think this whole group has done a good job of sharing the spotlight from time to time, but Nate's character being not only the paladin, like the holy religious symbol, a charismatic symbol, he's become kind of the voice of the group, the face of the group, and I think that's been recognized in game too. Like I think other people consider him to be the leader, but that wouldn't necessarily mean that he's the one. I think if that makes sense. Oh, Jeff agrees too. I see this. Yes, Jeff agrees too. Certainly the face of the group. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He's the face. Yeah. And even going through the clips, I noticed that a lot of the times when there's explanation to be done or sort of any exposition, it gets done with Barrick, because he's the one who is kind of advocating for the group. But he definitely is just a part of the group, right? In the gaming sense, he's as equal a member as anybody else, or everybody else is equal as he is. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Jeff has played with me in other campaigns. Just played with Randall, with CJ, with Mike, that group. He's played with Steve and Kyle and Stephanie when we played Curse of Strahd. This was like 2017. So I ran Curse of Strahd for that group. It was Jeff, CJ, Steve, Stephanie, and Kyle. That was our 5. And they've all been on the channel. Stephanie and Steve have been on in Supernatural 20 a lot, and then some other one-shots, things like that. CJ obviously has been on the channel a whole ton, and who did I miss? Oh, Kyle, who's a good friend of the channel, hasn't been able to be on the channel as much, but you've seen Chuck Kyle. He's done some chats with me. We've gone over Kobold Press stuff. He was in Rank Amateurs. Kyle's a great role player. I'd love to have him more on the channel, but he's a busy guy too. That's another thing too. I really do value the time of all the players. I know that these games can be a commitment. Let's see here. Yeah, this started during COVID. Yeah, the channel started during COVID. So we weren't meeting in person then. Greyhawk Exile, thank you. The barbecue was a lot of fun to see because favorite part was the reveal of where John lives, squats, rents. I don't remember that. What was? Oh no, I do. Yes, in my laundry room. Yeah, yeah, that was good. I forgot. I didn't get what you were saying at first, but yeah, yeah. The barbecue's fun because I think fun for I think people to watch because watch. I shouldn't say watch. We did one live stream, but it was fun for people to see the pictures and stuff like that because we're all playing together, but we aren't always on screen together. So it's fun to see it's kind of like when people in different groups coming together. It's fun. But it's also fun for us because, like I said, some of these people have never met each other. I'm like the central figure. They all know me through some various way, whether it's work or, gaming club or personal friends, before, you know, from high school or whatever. And so it's fun to see everybody get together, different circles come together. Yeah, Strahd was fun. Yep. Zeb deserves his separate tribute video. He does. Chris's family owes Zeb's family 250 gold pieces. It's something like that, probably. He should. He should just give all of his fortune to those poor children. I'm the area's alpha gamer. I don't know about that, but I do play a lot of games, and that I think is what makes me know a lot of people. I will say too, when you run a gaming club, like I'm wearing my BFS shirt today, Battle for Salvation. When you run a gaming club, you end up meeting quite a few gamers. So that's how I know a lot of people. I think that's how I got to know. That's actually I got to know you, Jeff. I think you came to the gaming club to play in Curse of Strahd. I think that's how we started it, right? Yeah, yeah. I do know a lot of people. Yeah, especially in the New York area. And I'd love to play more with people. I would love to play. I love to play a real in-person game. That's what I would like. Yeah, streaming a live game in person would be on my bucket list. I know that we had like this is such a specific way of doing an RPG, right? Like I mean, this is what most people do because it's the most easiest, right? We don't have to leave our house. We can do it. I can do it at a convenient time, at night or whatever. But it would be so much fun to play you know, to play a game in person. I'm gonna. Let's not say like Critical Role or anything like that, but that's a production. That might as well be a TV show, right? But I mean, just like I don't know, get a decent couple of cameras and mics and actually play a game in person. I think it would be fun streaming it from like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe streaming from somebody's house, I guess, but it's hard. There's a lot. If you haven't streamed before, if you don't know anything about live streaming, like I did before starting this channel, I've learned so much. It's hard, everybody. It's really hard. Even this setup right now, what you're just seeing, this still requires many steps to get to this, which is just my face on the screen with you. It's not easy. It doesn't take. It's not like I can just snap my fingers and it's ready, Let's see, some more questions here. I'll keep this trim, try to stick on for another 15 minutes or so, and then head off. Let's see. Okay, so Jeff, I was right. You found the club online, Battle for Salvation, and you showed up basically cold, no, and I'm glad. Look at that. I'm glad that you did. We had I think it was CJ's idea to start running like games and putting it out there. So we got a couple people, new people. I think, I forget. I through Kyle is how I met. I think Stephanie. I think she knew him beforehand, but and then CJ obviously I knew because he'd been playing at our gaming club. But that's basically it, right? Like that was it. We got you and Steve through online, and that was all. That's all she wrote. Let's see here. We're running an encounter. This is Super Sweaty Nerd Man. We're running an encounter with a zoo that broke loose on a cruise ship. There's a monkey that broke into the armory with a wand of blink and a necklace of fireball. 10 out of 10. Recommend this encounter. Is this a module? Is this something you purchased? Is it a creation of your own? Because that's actually a great idea. You know what I thought would be really cool too? I ran the End of the World RPG. Which we did in the mall, right? That was set in the Palisades Mall. How fun would that have been on a cruise ship? Yeah, and maybe a zombie one, a more traditional zombie one. I guess you could do anything, but I feel like the more you limit the enemy there would be better. Like, the machines. I mean, the boat is a machine, so I don't know, would that work? But I guess aliens could attack the boat. Wrath of the Gods might work, like type of sea god or just in general. Um, yeah, that could work. Cruise ship, any sort of contained location is so much fun. That's why I love movies like The Thing and anything that's really like, you know, it just takes place in a room. That's it. 28 Days Later RPG, yeah. End of the World RPG, which do I have it here? No, I don't. But the one we ran recently on the channel that had a zombie apocalypse version, and there's 5 distinct scenarios in there. One of them is like a 28 Days Later, so you can play that. Let's see. In-person D&D is best. How the game was meant to be. We as people make stronger connections in person. I can't agree more. We honestly just, this is out of necessity. We do it this way. I mean, if it was easy, we'd do it the other way. I 100% would do it the other way, but logistically this is easier. And yeah, I know one day, like CJ said, when we have tabletop BobCon, we'll do we'll do it. Let's see. James from Casey, which character is at most at risk in the finale? Oh god, that's a hard question, and I actually don't know if I can really give you my opinion without having, because I have knowledge, of things, and I just don't know. I mean, purely from a mechanical gaming standpoint, though, I think obviously Eric is probably the squishiest character. Now, luckily, Eric doesn't necessarily put himself at risk all the time, but when he starts to use those big whatchamacallit, oh god, the touch spell, now it's escaping me, but when he comes in for that big necrotic touch spell, he puts himself at risk because he's not using his range, he's not getting away from the melee combatants, he's coming in to do some damage, and it's a lot of damage, but he risks getting hit, and so I think that really is the problem. So I think it's Eric. If I were to just say pure mechanical standpoint, now story wise and other things, there's so many other factors that I think could threaten other characters, but I don't think I want to say my opinion here. Toll the Dead, no, not Toll the Dead. It's the, what is it? Not Chill Touch. What is it? God, now I gotta look it up. Chill Touch? Is it Chill Touch? No, not Chill Touch. That's neither touch nor cold damage. Is it Inflict Wounds? Yeah, it's Inflict Wounds. That's it. I think so. I could be wrong, but I think it's Inflict Wounds. 3d10 necrotic damage. Yeah, it's a melee spell attack. Yeah. I mean, look, his Wisdom is his best stat, and he goes in for the touch, and I think that's the one, yeah. Oh, good. Somebody's, yeah, TJ in the chat. Thank you. That's it. Yep, that's it. Inflict Wounds. He comes in and does a ton of damage. When he crits on that, it's like insane. So it's a good amount of damage, and I think that's what he likes. He likes that big spike damage, so he comes in and does it. But whenever he's done that, he did it with the centipede, the big centipede 2 episodes ago. He's done it in some of the boss fights, and then he gets beat up hard. Just gets bodied when he gets in there. So I feel like if he does that, Eric is at risk. Barrick, mechanically speaking, right? He goes in there, and he's got the high AC and all, but he ends up taking a lot more hits than anybody else because of he puts himself as a target. And there are some times where the creatures have had a decent attack roll or high damage, and when they hit him, he doesn't have the most HP. I mean, Karg, I think, has the most HP. So, Barrick, I think, also could be someone who goes down based on a lucky shot or something like that. So it might be Barrick. He's got a good chance to die because he puts himself out there a lot. I would say the people who are least likely to die, gaming, mechanically speaking only, would be Skeggy and Hieronymus, because of the nature they how they play their characters. I mean, Jeff pretty much like when he moves with such precision. He's like, I'm going to be in this spot and only this spot, and I'm not going any steps closer. I want to get this shot and move out of the way. I want to, whatever, and he plans it all out. I want to be within this range for the wand and all that stuff. So he plays very tactically and keeps himself out of trouble. Hieronymus does the same thing. He tries to stay in the back. Now he's had a couple of moments where the front of the battle has changed, right? Like he was in the front, or sorry, he was in the back, but then sort of there was a attack from the other side or something like that, and he's had trouble in that case. The Minotaur fight, even more recently, Xander was able to break through and get towards him. I mean, at that point in the last episode, Xander didn't want to fight at that point. He was trying to get Barrick to talk, but yeah, I mean, if he's caught off guard, then Hieronymus is very squishy. So, I would say those two have the least likely chance to die, mechanically speaking, and Barrick and Eric have a higher chance of dying. And I'd say Karg is probably, well, it's, he's with this new lovely dagger, he's very hard to kill. So, he might be okay, hit point wise. Let's see here. Wayne, there are no D&D clubs where I live, or they are very hard to find. I find that odd because I do live in a city, smallish, but a city. Yeah, interesting. You know, we so my gaming club, Battle for Salvation, has been around since 2006 was our start. We got our name because we played at the Salvation Army, in our local Salvation Army. We started off playing there. And then we moved. We've moved since. We were at the West Harrison Rec Center in New York. But before we moved, that's how we got our name. We started playing there on Monday nights, and it kind of just snowballed, right? We started putting the word out there, putting it on Yahoo Groups, if you can remember back to Yahoo Groups. That's how we started, and then eventually moved on to Facebook and stuff like that. Battle for Salvation, yeah, at the Rec Center in West Harrison. But yeah, we started to play there on Monday nights, and it's just been great. It's been great. So what's that, 16 years, 17 years? Yeah. But yeah, it's really hard for gaming stores to stay open in our area, and we never really attached ourselves to a gaming store because, well, we kind of like the autonomy, just being able to do what we want, and we host big events, and we're not really hosting them for a store. We're just a group of gamers. So it's like, over the years, we've had hundreds of people come through our club, but I would say, we have a good solid group of like 20 or 30 people that play regularly at the club. Yeah, 20 something people that play regularly at the club. But it's all different games, right? It started off just Warhammer, and now it's D&D. It's board games, big board game groups actually. Other fantasy type role playing games. Tabletop games. And it's great. It's fantastic. I love it. But it takes a lot to run as well. And that might be why, right? That's why you don't see too many gaming groups. But I would say go on Facebook. That's been a really good... I actually use Facebook mostly for like gaming related stuff, honestly. But I would say use Facebook. Kind of search for groups in your area that are doing gaming stuff and see, are they playing at a restaurant? Are they playing at like a bar? Are they playing at a library? Are they... is there a gaming club? Or, I'd say search for social media for that stuff. That's really where I think you could find the best. There's also, oh gosh, what's the name? Meetup. That's another website. A Meetup. There's probably a few other ones like that since, but we've posted on Meetup before, and Meetup's like a great way for people to find your place. Because if they're searching for something in the area, it'll come up. Meetup's a good one, and they might be people playing in a park or playing in a library or something, a public place that would be accessible. Let's see here. John Simmons, I got to play an in-person game this week after 5 years. Stepson's DM's best weekend in a long time. Yeah. In-person gaming, hard to beat. Chris from Long Island, it would be a tough pill to swallow for Nate or Chris's characters to die in the finale. Ooh. Yeah. I'm rooting for them, like I said. I would hate to see them die too, but I think it has to be Well, it has to be on the table for sure. I mean, like, I'm not gonna not kill them if there's opportunity and it would make sense in the game, right? I have to do it. I'd almost feel like it would be a detriment to the story in the game and the campaign that we just had if I were to pull a punch like that. But yeah, I'm rooting for them too. I am rooting for them too. Does more damage than backstab. Is more flexible. The X-bow. What's the X-bow? X-bow. Did I miss something? Nate is used to it. Print and play gamer. Yeah, Jeff, it would be great to have you back at the club on Monday nights. We're our hours are extended now. We're playing till 10 p.m. So it's a really good time to get back into in-person gaming there. Warhammer is also, um, starting up again, 10th edition. Good time. James, I don't want to speak for Burger, but if I had to pick between a Patreon cameo character to die, I'd pick Nate. That's funny. For those of you who don't know, the Patreon campaign that I have on every other Thursday with the great group, really fantastic. Everyone that's been a part of it, James and Berger are a part of it. Um, we've had so much fun playing. We're playing Red Hand of Doom, but we did my own campaign for the first 7 or 8 months, and it was a lot of fun. But I've had a couple of guests come on, play with them. Chris, Nate came on separate points to play and check things out and meet them was fun. Um, but you'd pick Nate. You'd kill Nate. Wow. Thank you. I'll tell him that. I think anyone could die in the finale. I hope no one goes out like a punk, though. Yeah, no, I know. I agree. I hope that you guys win. I really do. I hope it. Let's see here. Oh, Jeff, you found us through Meetup. Oh, good. There you go. Perfect. That's good to know. Yeah, Meetup's great, everybody. Meetup is great. Um, could play at a local library or something. Yeah. Again, similarly, the reason why the we don't want to really be a part of you know we want to make things official with places we go to. We don't want to just use a place, and even if we get permission, we kind of want to have a place where we really can be our own. We want to. We don't want to have to worry about the people around us staying up. We want to be able to just game and not worry about being a part of some bigger thing. Thank you, 500G Matt. What I like about Keep is real threat of character death. Yeah, I think you're right. Um, yeah, I think you're right. It has to be. That's how I run all my games. If you've only watched Keep on the Borderlands, then you are obviously seeing exactly how I like to play the game. But you same thing for Icewind Dale, same thing for Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which was a very different type of campaign. Same thing for any game I run here. I find it very important for roles to not be fudged and for characters to make their own decisions and not pull punches, because it would be unfair to the characters for me to play it differently. So, yeah, a disservice really to the game itself if I were to meta game and try to keep a character alive or something like that. I don't think that's the way to go. Try to play it as the characters, the villains would. First death needs to be Xander to start the night. We'll see. Xander's tough. Xander's tough. You're curious how the Tomb of Horrors group's going to do. Very tough module, and I will say that actually is going to be a very different take on that module. So if you've liked the way I did Keep on the Borderlands, Tomb of Horrors is going to be like that too. There are some changes, and it's becoming a real campaign, not just a dungeon, mega dungeon. You'll see. All right, last couple of comments here. Wayne, thanks for coming to the hype chat. I know you don't like 5e, I know, but you love our channel, so thank you. Appreciate it. Um, Keep is a very tough start level 1. Most of the caves have large numbers of monsters. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Yeah, I hope everybody does tune into Tomb of Horrors. One of the things I was saying is Keep's been so much fun and had such a good following, but you know, I hope people stick around and stick around for all the cool stuff that we have coming forward. I got a lot of stuff planned, so, you know, stay tuned. All right, so I'm going to sign off here. Thanks to everybody who stopped in to say hello and throw their comments of support, and thank you for the donations, the super chats. Like I said, don't ask for it, but I appreciate it. It's really nice to see the support from everyone. And I really, throughout this game, throughout all the other games, I've gotten to see like so many people's, you know, names, YouTube names. You know, I recognize them all. I mean, I've seen you all in the chats. I've seen you all in multiple, you know, games I've played, and the support is awesome. So thank you. Yeah, and thanks, Jeff, jumping into the chat. All right, so I'm gonna go get some things ready and head off to bed. But Tuesday night, everyone, I will see you Tuesday for the finale of Keep on the Borderlands. So excited, so hyped. I hope you are too. See you on the tabletop.